Diabetes shouldn't curb your kitchen creativity. That's what this advert said that I watched on YouTube the other day. And it was for, I can't remember the name, but it was a glucose monitor that you put in your arm, a blood glucose monitor. Diabetes shouldn't curb your kitchen creativity. So clearly they're marketing to people with diabetes. I don't know, I got targeted maybe, so that's worrying. But the point is, diabetes should curb your kitchen creativity. It should. You have diabetes. Some people are born, well, sort of born with diabetes, maybe type 1. That I can understand. You've got to deal with that all your life if you're born with that sort of difference. If you have, almost everyone who has diabetes has type 2 diabetes, a man-made disease, okay? One that you develop throughout your life, usually when you become overweight, for most people. Some pregnant mothers can become more susceptible to it and get it whilst they're pregnant. Then they think they just got it all their life. But type 2 diabetes, people don't understand this, is completely reversible. No end of people have reversed their type 2 diabetes. So should it curb your kitchen creativity? Yes. Yes, it should. That's the one thing it should do. Curb your kitchen creativity. Nail down your diet. I'm not going to get into exactly what the diet should be. There's enough research out there, and if you can think critically and analyze real evidence and believe the people you'd like to believe and you think makes sense, you can find your own answers with that. But anyway, I really found a lot of irony in that. But it got me thinking also about the current space in terms of the diet industry in regards to like the micromanaging of it. Because you see the company that I said did the advert, you also see Zoe. Zoe at the minute is huge. It's growing. You see guys like Stephen Bartlett, the entrepreneur guy, Dragon's Den, endorsing it, and a bunch of people getting on it. I actually know some people that signed up for Zoe. They've gone through the whole thing. If you didn't know, Zoe is, again, a blood glucose monitoring thing that you can plug into your arm, and it's going to monitor your blood glucose. They also do a whole package where they analyze your reaction to certain foods and give you this package of what they think your body runs like, what foods you do well on, what foods you don't. If you didn't know, you need to, in order to sign up, send a sample of your shit to them and a sample of your blood, I think. Those two things. And they're going to write back to you, thank you very much, Mr. Shit Sender. Here's what we know about you now. We know everything about you now, right? That's what they do. And from there, you get plans and advice from these lovely, helpful people. Here's what shocked. I was not a fan, never been a fan of this at all for a number of reasons. When I was just looking into this, here's what shocked me. I didn't know they did this thing. They send you cookies, 2 cookies. They call them breakfast cookies. And you have to, I think, test your blood maybe before you eat it, maybe after, I think. Well, definitely after. I'm not sure about before. Probably before, so they have like a baseline to measure against, I guess. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But, so they send you the cookies to eat, right? And they say, they obviously have to disclose the ingredients of the cookies. These cookies are shit. Palm oil, a bunch of flours and grains, preservative, I think, don't quote me. There was a bunch of shit in there, some caking agent, a bunch of shit in these cookies. So they send you shit. That's ironic. You have to send back shit. They might as well just test their own cookies. But anyway, that did shock me. What they're getting people to do now, and there used to be butter used in them, I think, but the vegans kicked off, so they can't put butter in them now. So it's all some other fake shit. That's what they do. They send you that, and so the reason I'm making this video really is this whole idea is just so out of whack. It mainly comes down to the idea of micromanaging our health. And companies like Zoe are profiteering off of this, okay? I don't blame them for doing that. They've found an industry there that works, and clearly people have got a real desire to do that now. And that's really evident. And they're making money off it. Fair enough. They're doing their thing. I don't think they're inherently evil. Zoe or Libra was the other one. However, the mindset shift has gone wrong. And I don't like the fact that these companies are endorsing this kind of mindset in order to make money. We don't need to micromanage our health. Every little bit. I mean, I've heard from people I know, you get the report back from Zoe, and they say, oh, you don't do too well with butter or dairy, or you don't do too well with fruit or something like that. Maybe try doing this. It's usually increase grains or pulses, nuts and seeds, maybe fruit, veg. God knows it's never meat. It's never meat. They are anti-meat. That's not just me drawing a conclusion. It's pretty obvious. They don't, I mean, I downloaded their guide. They've got a gut health guide. That's got no animal products in it, I believe. Oh, maybe some dairy and some cream. But they've suggested, I mean, let me read this out to you guys. Where are we? Yeah, I mean, go ahead and get yourself some seedy crackers with beetroot hummus. And that's their recommendation to micromanage your gut health. Nobody's doing that. And nobody should be. Nobody's going, oh my God, my small intestine really needs a green goddess chickpea sandwich. We don't need to do this. This is what they come back with, though. They say, oh, for this exact reason in your health, the way your body works, we need to do this with you. We need to up your green vegetables. Variety, they very much promote the variety of vegetables, okay? I understand there's benefits to that. I don't really think there's many benefits to many vegetables at all, to be honest. I don't really eat many vegetables in my diet. But I'm not putting my bias on this. This is my opinion on the whole space. Okay, roasted carrots with tahini yogurt. Okay, so you can see this is going. There's no, this is low protein, low fat stuff. And it's just the data we have now, guys. You don't have to be a genius to actually look at it with some critical thinking and put all these biases and vested interests aside and really get to the heart of the matter. Nobody's really arguing now that fat's bad for you. Fat's very good for you if it's healthy fat, animal fats especially. We're past this now. We're through this. Nobody's arguing that. Well, sorry, some people are arguing that. But if you have the ability to be selective with the information you consume and do some critical thinking, we're not. This isn't up for debate really anymore. So why do we need to micromanage everything? It's not necessary. We need to macromanage our health, lifestyle, diet, exercise, blah, blah, blah. But the foods we put into our body, sorry, I had something in my eye. The foods we put into our body, they serve a purpose. They serve as fuel. They serve as fuel for several functions, for energy, for repairing, for building muscle, building tissue, cognitive enhancement, and just getting by as a human. We don't need to think, oh, my pancreas needs more legumes. We don't need to micromanage this stuff. It's not, I'm trying to think of an example where you don't micromanage other parts of your life too much. Do you know, in my mind, it's like the gym and people who lift weights to become bodybuilders. They micromanage their exercise or they micromanage their body. They're like, oh my, I don't know if it's a bit of a tangent, but a lot of guys will get this. Bodybuilders are like, oh, my biceps are lacking. I need to do loads of bicep curls. Or, oh, I need to work this one muscle here. I'll do this exact exercise. And it grows that muscle. Brilliant. So the outcome is the one they want. However, you step back and look at them. You can go look at like bodybuilding competitions. They look terrible. They look, it's kind of impressive as a feat, the amount of muscle they can put on their body, but they're not healthy. They usually end up with back pain and stuff like that, knee pain especially. So many guys say about this. They all regret it in the end. I mean, they're all on steroids, don't get me wrong, which is not great, but listen, that's micromanaging exercise for a set outcome, and it never ends up well. You look at the guys that are just exercising to be healthy, or like, it's usually not for a certain sport because that leads to excess in some way. But the guys that are just lifting weights because they know resistance training is good for them, and they do like a bit of cardio because they knew that's good for their heart health and lung function, and they do incorporate sprints for the benefits that they have. That's a holistic view of health or exercise. And diet's the same. We don't need to eat selectively for certain function. We need to eat selectively for health. What that looks like in your mind might change. It's no secret that I'm very pro meat. I eat almost a carnivore diet, almost exclusively meat, but I throw in dairy as well. I'll often eat fruit, sometimes vegetables, and sometimes other things, but predominantly eat meat based. So it's high fat, high protein. That serves me very well. Other people, yes, you might be different. I know some people don't get on with dairies, whatever. But the jury is not out anymore on a lot of these factors, really. The data's there and it's conclusive. We don't need to be looking into it anymore, and we certainly don't need to have walking around with something on your arm tracking your blood glucose. Can you imagine that? Oh, well, let me eat this cookie and see what it does. We know what it's going to do. It's full of sugar. Your blood glucose is going to go up. Okay, fine. Yep, we know that. So we already knew that. No need to pay the whole thing, the whole price, walk around with a little robot on your arm. No need. We don't need to micromanage this. What else do I write? Yeah, we're complex systems. Humans are complex in our health. We have systems in place so we can deal with, we can digest meat, we can digest vegetables, we can digest fruit, we can digest a bunch of things because we're very complex. We have stomachs, several passages of stomach and several organs in place to deal with complexity. Diet doesn't need to be complex because we are complex. Diet just needs to serve the purpose we have it to do. I just don't see, we're not at a point now with this much knowledge and this much data, we don't need to be looking into this at the level that these people are. And they're marketing to people with diabetes. People with diabetes do need to pay more attention than anybody else. But again, we're not clueless. This whole thing is presuming we're clueless. Oh, let me track how every little fruit on my shoulder is going to tell me how every food changes. No, we know fruit's going to up your blood sugar. Yeah, sure. Any sugar, any carbohydrate. We know this now. We don't need to be tracking it. And if you're diabetic, you should know better. You should know better because people are reversing diabetes. This is no secret. We don't need a cure. People are doing it. People are doing it all over with so much success, and it's so good to see. So good to see. Where's the? I wrote down. Where's the intuition gone? Going back thousands of years, we must have had intuition to, pick a ripe berry off a tree because it had some energy in it. We had intuition to hunt down animals for their meat. That's intuition for you. If I could just. I don't want to make this like meat versus plant, but if I could just get by eating the leaves off the trees or off the bush or off the plants growing out the ground, I would not go out my way to go and hunt down a buffalo or a bison or, put myself out there chasing animals for days with a spear. But that's intuition. That's intuition for you. And where's that gone? Well, I'm not saying we need to go back to caveman times, but where's the intuition gone? The common sense, the critical thinking in this regard. It's gone, the wool's been pulled over everyone's eyes, mostly from corporate interest. The money there in the sugar industry and religious interest. It's a whole minefield once you get into it, guys, but the information's all out there. There's loads of good stuff on the internet if you want to look further into this. And I highly recommend you do. Yeah. Don't micromanage your health. It doesn't need micromanaging. Put the right inputs in. Leave out the bad stuff. That's the biggest part. And thrive. That's my take. So thank you. In good health. See you next time.